Hello on the Daily Family. Welcome back. Happy Friday, or whenever it is that you are hearing this. I am 1 week post my wedding. Breezy and I got married on March 23rd, and it has just been the best week ever. We've been just soaking up newlywed bliss, and it's just been a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time in our life. And I have a lot of exciting things coming through sooner than later. And so I wanted to share with you before I jump into this episode some things that I'm working on, because I feel like I have not, I feel like I haven't spoken to anybody in so long. I know you've been listening to episodes every week, but I just feel like I have been so MIA, and there's so many things that I have cool new things I have coming out, and I wanted to share them with you. So number one, I'm currently running Selling Fiercely, which is my signature program all about sales, how to decide your offers, how to launch your offers, how to scale your offers, how to market your offers, how to attract the right client to your offers. I have a program on that. It's called Selling Fiercely, and I am currently running it for the last time. It's on sale. So it's normally $555. It's currently $497, and that's where it will stay until we archive it. Once it's archived, it's not coming back. We are letting this one join the archives to make way for a new signature program that I have launching in a couple of months. So if your business, whatever it is, if it's a product-based business, a service-based business, if you're a coach and you sell something, this program is for you. I think that in our society, we do too much of selling the solution. So for example, if I am a fitness coach and I'm selling the idea of oh, you can hit your ideal body weight with me. Well, that's the solution. People already know that they want that, and selling the solution doesn't work. Selling and trying to hit people's pain points also doesn't work, because it sets their central nervous system into a state of that panic, or that feeling of being uncomfortable, which never leads to a sale, at least from the right client. And so what I really teach in this program is how to sell the problem instead of the solution, but avoiding selling from pain points, marketing to pleasure points instead, to desire points instead. That's something that I have mastered, and I teach you in this program. So if you're in sales at all, even if, and especially if I say, if you're in sales and your whole body goes ooh, I don't like to sell, then this program is for sure for you, because we are all selling every single day. And if you're in business, my guess is you are selling something. So even if it's your personal brand that you're selling, this program is for you. So click the link in our show notes. You can get that for about $50 off. There are payment plans available, and this is going to be the last time I offer it. Because I have a new signature program launching here in the next couple of months, which will be geared toward the entrepreneur who is launching a business. So I have launched a few businesses at this point. I have scaled a few businesses at this point, and I'm pretty good at it. And so what I did is I took everything that I did from the day that I decided that I was going to start a business until now, and I am putting it into a program, and it's going to have some modules. It's going to have some guest trainers. It's going to have some exercises, some resources, some homework. Some of it's going to be pre-recorded and self-led. There will be some live stuff. It's just going to kind of include it all. And if you're launching a business, if you're scaling a business, this program really shouldn't be missed. There will be early bird pricing for the first people to jump into it. So if you're interested in something like that, and you are this is the year that I'm launching my business, this is the year that I am scaling my business, then you got to get on the wait list for this so that you get the early bird pricing. And you can do that by coming and sliding into my DMs at Danielle_on-the-daily. You can also email my team at hey@DanielleMcCleary.com. They will point you in the right direction always. So a few new things coming out. Lastly, I'm so excited about this. My mastermind, which in the past was called Launch with Power, and it was for kind of like what my new signature program is going to be for the person launching a business. So what I've decided is to kind of transition my mastermind into a more elevated container, which will now be called Scale to Six, which is for the person who already has a business and is looking to scale it to six figures and beyond. And that's what this mastermind is going to include. My mastermind will also now include all of my group programs and all of my master classes. So if you're in the mastermind, you get all access to everything. And there's also going to be some cool retreats happening inside the mastermind. There's going to be some group coaching. There's going to be some one-on-one stuff. There's going to be a lot of different things inside of this container, and it really is going to be magical. The people that are in there already, like the conversations we have, I wish people could just be on a fly on the wall for, because they're the conversations that everybody should be having, but it seems like no one is having. So if being a part of a mastermind and putting yourself intentionally into a space where the conversations are like growth focused and, people are truly supporting one another, but also like everybody has this common goal of getting better, look no further than Scale to Six, because it really is going to be magical. You have another day. You have through tonight to join Launch with Power as the current pricing. And if you join after tonight, then the price goes up. So currently you can be a part of this mastermind for $9.25 a month. And if you join after tomorrow, it's going to go up to $1,500 a month. So, but you'll still get all the perks of when it changes. You're going to get all the perks of that. You'll just be able to enter it at a lower price point through the end of today. But April 1st, the price does rise. So take advantage of it. If you've been thinking about it, now's your time. And lastly, I have the Masterclass Society, which is all of my masterclasses. So any masterclass I've ever done, as well as any masterclass that I will do in the future, is all included inside of this society, which is you pay per month. You get access to all past, present, and future masterclasses. So simple. It's literally $77 a month through the end of today. And after today, that price will go up, but it'll still be a low price point. But if you want it at $77, today's the last day to get it. And it's just no brainer. Like every time I do a new masterclass, it'll get automatically added to your queue. You'll automatically get the link to Zoom to be on it live. Like it's just a no-brainer, especially if like growth is something that you're super focused on this year, but you're on a budget. This is gonna be the place for you. So like Money Vibes in there, your social branding is in there. The Shift Forward is in there. There's so many good. Just Launched the Damn Podcast is in there. Overcoming Limiting Beliefs is in there. There's so many good ones. And I do one a month at least. So make sure that if you just want an all access pass to all of my master classes, to get in on that before the end of today, and you can get it for $77. Okay. So let's talk about lessons that I've learned from getting married that apply to my business, because I did a post of this earlier in the week on things I've moved from learning, or things I've learned from moving from California to Texas and how it applies to my business. And I want to do the same thing for my wedding, because there's been a lot of lessons we've learned, and there's been a lot of really beautiful things that have come up that I am really excited about. And I think my wedding taught me a lot. So number one thing I've learned, so right before my wedding, I sent out an email to all of my higher ticket containers, so my mastermind and my private mentorship, that the structure of these containers was going to be changing a little bit. Until now, all of my one-on-one clients have had scheduled 1-hour calls with me every single week. And what I'm shifting to is calls as needed, which they will have a Zoom link. They'll be able to book a call with me if they need it, one per week, and 30 minutes. And you might think like, well, that just seems like they're not going to have as much time with you, but they still have Voxer all the time. All my clients know that they're always in Voxer with me, and they can message me anytime in there. But what was starting to happen was, these are entrepreneurs. Like my higher ticket containers, these are entrepreneurs, and they're all running their own businesses and they're doing their own thing. And so sometimes they would come to our scheduled like time, you know, and they wouldn't necessarily have any questions because they were working or they were doing something in their business, or, they just didn't have any questions. So then we'd sit on Zoom and we'd talk for an hour. And like, as much as I love talking to my clients, trust me, I know especially my private clients, I know everything about their life. Like, I know about their jobs, I know about their kids, I know about their marriages. Like, I know about all of it. And it's amazing. These people are like friends also, but we were just talking about nothing and, just kind of like shooting the shit, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it takes away from the coaching thing. And a lot of these people, my clients pay me really good money to get my coaching and my mentorship. And if we're not doing that, then I'm not empowering my clients. And so the switch really was out of a necessity to empower my clients more. And so having calls as needed means when they need me, they schedule a call with me and we're on, and it's 30 minutes long. So you ask questions, I do my coaching, I mentor you, and then we can like shoot the shit other time. But it's like, I was feeling the like dragging along type of thing. And that's not fair to my clients, and it's not fair to me, and it's not a good use of either one of our time. So I really do believe that this is going to empower my clients more, which is only going to make them more successful. And I cannot freaking wait. So this week, I really haven't worked that much. I've been very in and out of work. I really haven't done much except for I talked to my assistant a little bit, and Breezy and I have worked on a couple things. I talked to my business partner for Hype You Media, and I've been in Voxer with my clients. I've done some work in there, but all in all, I really have just been enjoying newlywed bliss with my lady, and it's been amazing. And we went to lunch. Breezy and I did, and we were sitting there, and I was like, the way this week has been going is really what my weeks are going to look like moving forward. And that's a really cool thing, because for so long I've had these scheduled calls every week. And ultimately we start our businesses to have a life context of time freedom. And who am I to not actually have that completely? And so I learned that from my wedding. Actually this post-wedding week of bliss was kind of more of a foreshadowing and a preview for what's to come as I shift into this new structure of my higher ticket containers. So that was exciting. Another lesson I learned is that there's no right or wrong way to do something. Our wedding, somebody asked me one time, they said, what is one unconventional thing or non-traditional thing that you're doing for your wedding? And I said, the only traditional thing that we are doing for our wedding is that there is a wedding. Everything else I feel like was so non-traditional. And we didn't have a wedding party. We didn't even have flower girls. We literally had our nieces and our nephews walk down the aisle with sage. We called them our sage babies, and they saged everybody. We had everybody come to our home for our wedding and enter through our front door, and everybody sat in our backyard. We didn't have a seated dinner. We literally just had tacos out, and people could eat when they wanted. We didn't throw a bouquet. We didn't cut a cake. We literally just danced and spent time with our loved ones and just really loved on them. And then at the end of the night, we rented out a dance hall and we all went line dancing and made them all learn a really hard line dance. And so what I learned from that experience was, if you're going to get a lot of noise. Of course, gosh, we told people our wedding's on a Thursday in Texas, and people were like, why would your wedding be on a Thursday? That's crazy. And why wouldn't you do this? And why wouldn't you do that? We got a lot of noise. And I just remember being cause this is what we want. This is what we want. And so that's what we're going to have. And it was so interesting because now, I think about how that applies to my business. There's people that are like, well, why are you doing that for your business? Or why are you making that choice? I'm like, because I want to. Because that's what I want. Because that's the life context that I want for my business. And it was just the perfect reminder because our wedding was just perfect. No matter how many people thought that like shit was going to hit the fan, things were going to fall apart, things weren't going to happen. It ended up being literally the most beautiful, perfect day I've ever seen in my entire life. And we were so happy and everybody had such a good time. And people were like, this was literally the wedding of the century. And it was just because like, we didn't put pressure on it. We literally just did what we wanted to do based on the activities and the things that we enjoyed. And it ended up being literally the greatest day maybe ever. And so how that applies to my business and how I think it should apply to yours is like, what if you stopped listening to everyone about like what you should do and how you should do it? And like, what if you just did it the way you want to do it? What if you just created offers in your business because you want to do that? What if you started selling in a certain way because that's what you wanted? You know, like what if? I just think so many times we get so wrapped up in like, oh, I can't do that. Like, that's not what other people do. Who cares? Are you trying to live a life where like you spend the whole day, like you spend all of your days just doing what everybody else is doing just for the sake of being like, quote, normal? I don't know. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's, I think it's way more fun to do what you want to do and let that be a ripple effect for the world around you. That's the second lesson I've learned. And then number 3, the third lesson, and probably like the most important lesson that I learned through planning my wedding was that the littlest things can go the longest way. We were just so present that day. And I think it's really easy, especially for your wedding day, to like get really wrapped up in all of the shit that doesn't matter, and let yourself be stressed over things that really have no importance. And so we really just focused on being present with one another. That was like a huge thing for Breezy and I, is like, we just wanted to be present with one another and present with Owen, and let the rest of the world just like see our love. And the ceremony was so simple. Gosh, it was so simple. And we wrote our own vows and Owen stood up there with us, and it was so small, but it ended up having this like huge impact. And it was just like, it was perfect. There's no other way to describe it other than perfect. And I think in my business, there have been times when I've tried to like do the most, right? Like you try to do the most, you try to be the most, you try to say the most, like all these things. And like ultimately, is that truly the best idea? Like, I don't think so. I think the best idea always in your business is to like keep it simple, right? You don't have to have all of the bells and whistles to have a good offer. You don't have to have like the most expensive this to have a great offer. What you have to have is you, and you have a story. You are working through something right now that is going to be so valuable to someone later on. And you really just need to focus on keeping it as simple as possible and letting the beautiful simplicity of the moment really shine and transpire, because that's ultimately what people are going to buy, right? It's like, how many weddings have you been to where there's just, it's so extra and like, it's beautiful, of course, but they're not the most memorable ones. Like our wedding will go down in history as like one of the most memorable weddings because it was simple and it was just so focused on love and being grounded and being with our people. And that's why I think our wedding is going to go down in the books. It's not because we had the most expensive party favors, or, you know, we didn't rent like a full on band and the cake didn't cost $5,000. We didn't even have a cake. Our friend baked cupcakes in our oven, and then we ordered donuts from like this tiny hole in the wall donut shop down the street called Drippin' Donuts. Like literally could not have been more simple. And it was the most perfect day. My dress cost $198 on Free People, and it was the most perfect dress. I ordered boots for $40. They were the most perfect boots. Like I did my own hair. I did my own makeup with a little bit of help from my friend, and it was perfect. So just like when planning my wedding, it was a good reminder for my business to like, just keep it simple. Don't try to overdo it, because if you try to overdo it, you're missing the point. And if you're missing the point, then your clients are sure not going to get the point. So those are the top 3 things I've learned from planning my wedding and how it applies to my business. I hope this was helpful. If there's anything you need, or any links that you need, or you have any questions about any of my programs or things that I have out right now, just slide into my DMs at Danielle_on_the_daily, or you can email hey@daniellemcclary.com, and they will be sure to answer any questions there. Lastly, if you want a discount on any of my programs or higher level containers, you can go to Apple Podcasts. You can write a review and leave me a 5-star rating. Screenshot that for me before you post it and send it to me on Instagram, and I'll give you a discount on whichever program you want, as long as it's more value. And I think that's it. I love you so much. I'll be back on Tuesday with another episode. Bye.